Hi, welcome to FUT-IQ. I'm Diego. Today I want to talk about the World Cup. Obviously, today we had a day break, no games, kind of weird. And we're also coming to the end of the World Cup. And it's been very exciting. A lot of interesting things have gone and very, very great games as well. But now that we're in quarterfinals, tomorrow we have, like you guys all know, France versus Morocco's. This is going to be an insane game. Morocco has a great team. So does France. And Messi and Mbappé are obviously Holland too. They're all, in the leading stats for goals. So we'll see who gets that at the end of the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see who scores more. But with that being said, kind of interesting how France has 5 refs and they're all Argentinian, apparently. Kind of weird since there's been tension lately against the French and the Argentinians. But hopefully there's no bias here and the best one wins tomorrow. A bit controversial with the referees. We all know that VAR, even FIFA themselves with letting Balogun play against Belgium for the U.S. national team, kind of weird, that whole situation. Donald Trump needs to makes a phone call, and they get that red card taken off so he can play. It didn't work out for USA. They played terrible. They were playing great at the beginning of the tournament, and then they went downhill against Bosnia. They had a complicated game. Not barely, but they went through, and then they barely competed against Belgium, that's for sure, sadly enough to say. And Belgium are through now. Belgium face Spain on Friday. It's going to be an interesting game. I still think Spain go through. They face a Belgium that isn't necessarily the golden generation, more like a dead golden generation, but they've been playing better, at least against USA they did, and they could go compete for sure. But Spain beat Portugal. That was a kind of a early final, and now Ronaldo's out and Spain is doing a great job. Mikel Oyarzabal, probably one of the players that is the most underrated and isn't respected enough, maybe because he plays in a not too much of a trendy or known team as the team is Real Sociedad in Spain. So I get that, but he scored like 11 goals in like 12 matches or something like that. It's insane. But now I see France, Spain in the semifinal for sure, but a lot of things can happen. If Morocco are this far is because they have a great team and they can obviously make a great upset for France. And then the other side we have Norway, England. Norway can definitely surprise. They did against Brazil. Surprisingly, Norway has never or Brazil's never beat Norway in the World Cup, or in general, I think maybe. But Neymar's last World Cup, kind of sad there too as well. A lot of great players, the end of a generation, right here, and probably one of the best, or if not the best, ever. So it's kind of crazy to say these things, and at least he scored it in his last World Cup game, if that's the case, which I think it is. And Haaland definitely showed his masterclass, even though all those memes are funny and whatever. He's just a baller. He's insane, and he can surprise. And Saturday when they face, it's going to be an interesting game where it's going to be who defends the best and who scores, or who is more accurate when it comes to Harry Kane and Erling Haaland, one of the best, if not the 2 best strikers in the moment, not just in the tournament, but overall this season. So it's going to be an amazing game to watch. I still think England are going to go through just because in general, I guess name by name, they're better. But even then, their squad list is very questionable without a doubt. And then we have Argentina versus Switzerland. Colombia choked. They lost in PKs 4-3. They couldn't put them in. Played a pretty good game, but they couldn't finish also in the 90 minutes. Switzerland has been playing better, a lot better, especially throughout the beginning of the tournament, and they need to be playing the perfect game to beat Argentina. Egypt did questionable calls, like I've said about the World Cup overall, but there's some type of bias. I'm not saying Argentina bought the World Cup, but there's some type of bias to the defending world champs. I'm not gonna lie, kind of fishy, kind of weird. Daddy Infantino for Messi's getting some tremendous amount of PKs. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. Comment down below. What do you guys think? We'll see what happens with this situation. I still think Argentina are going to go through. They kind of had an easier way through the World Cup to the semis, so we'll see what happens there. Should have been Colombia, but Switzerland can do the thing too. Hopefully they make them sweat at least, and at least Egypt did that. At least Capo Verde did that, and they really got those people nervous. So we'll see what happens. May the best team win, honestly, but just the referees have been very inconsistent, not gonna lie. So hopefully that's not the case with these quarterfinals. But I do see the semifinals being England, Argentina, and they're gonna be great semifinals. Comment down below what do you guys think about the quarterfinals, who goes through to the semis. I'll read them. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification so you guys know when we upload. And see you guys next time.